Hi there, I'm Kim Vanell, taking you through some of the things that people are talking about and the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. Speak English or else. One of America's top universities is under fire for sending an ultimatum to Chinese students. We have all the winners and losers of the Screen Actors Guild Awards. No maps needed. We'll give you a tour of Istanbul's best street art spots. And from a flock of sheep to a litter of kittens, turns out animals are just like us when it comes to wanting a parent's love. Another Speak English controversy in the US is going viral. This time there's massive backlash against a university professor at the prestigious Duke University in North Carolina after she fired off a mass email telling students not to speak Chinese on campus or else. Liz Maddock explains how it all started.
Something to think about. That's the email a Duke University professor sent her students, warning them not to speak Chinese on campus. It said, "I encourage you to commit to using English 100% of the time when you are in hoc or any other professional setting. Please, please, please keep these unintended consequences in mind when you choose to speak in Chinese in the building." She said faculty members wanted to identify students speaking Chinese in case the students ever wanted an internship or to work with them.
What is wrong with Duke University's Biostat department? You now dictate what languages people can speak in their private time and conversation?
Professor Neely has stepped down as the director of Duke's Masters of Biostatistics program, which has 54 students. 36 of those are Chinese. The university's Asian Students Association says for international students, speaking in their mother tongue is a means of comfort and familiarity with a home and culture that is oftentimes suppressed within the US. Now there's calls for her to be fired. Miss Kim tweets, "Another day, another racist surfaces. Shame on you, Megan Neely, and shame on you, Duke University, for keeping her employed." It's now been exposed Neely sent a similar email in 2018. So why wasn't there the same backlash then? That's something to think about.
Let's have a look now at some other things that caught our eye on social media.
Tell me something.
The internet is going wild after Bradley Cooper made a surprise appearance and performance with Lady Gaga in Las Vegas. The crowd captured footage of the duo performing the song Shallow, which is up for Best Original Song at the Academy Awards next month. Gaga currently has a residency in Vegas, but stretched her artistic muscles last year in the film A Star Is Born. After being snubbed at every other award ceremony this year, no doubt she's hoping the Best Actress Oscar will be hers. A documentary featuring the testimony of two men who say the late Michael Jackson sexually abused them while they were children has premiered at Sundance Film Festival. The film alleges Jackson groomed and then systematically abused the boys over several years. The film, called Leaving Neverland, says Jackson even went so far as to hold a mock wedding with one of the boys, complete with rings, as a way of psychologically manipulating the boy into secrecy. The Jackson estate has rejected the film's accusations, calling it tabloid character assassination. Facebook is planning to merge its messaging service with WhatsApp and Instagram so that users can communicate across all three platforms. Now, while you may be thinking, yay, now I'll be able to chat to my mum who loves Facebook but can't understand the concept of WhatsApp. Well, there are some who are less enthusiastic. The merger could mean Facebook uses all of your data to even more specifically target advertising, and make the Facebook conglomeration even harder to potentially break up. Now, award season in Hollywood is well underway, and at Sunday's Screen Actors Guild Awards, many of the movies we've been hearing about non-stop, thinking Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody and The Wife, took home the top awards. And what could be the biggest change, it seems, is that past grievances like the industry's lack of diversity and the Me Too movement have apparently been taken to heart. Here's Denis.
Black Panther walked away with this year's top award, and with a diverse cast of actors, it's sending a positive message about the role of representation in the industry.
To be young, gifted, and black is all of that. It's to have everything, but then not quite be able to grasp it. But our task historically has not been the same because, you know, we've been relegated to playing the sidekick or the sideshow or backstage or not here altogether.
My family.
Despite the Freddie Mercury biopic getting mixed reviews at release, actor Rami Malek took home his second industry gong for Best Actor, but the critically acclaimed A Star Is Born was snubbed once again, and it's left fans completely unimpressed. Controversies like the Me Too movement were mostly left out, but the awards didn't shy away from politics. Patricia Arquette chose to use her acceptance speech for Best TV Actress as an opportunity to mention the investigation into Donald Trump's alleged campaign collusion.
Oh, thank you, Robert Mueller, and everyone working to make sure that we have sovereignty for the United States of America.
There was also talk about the upcoming Oscars not having a host. Kevin Hart stepped down after some of his homophobic tweets from 10 years ago were brought back to life.
I thought it was really a mistake on the Kevin Hart situation. I mean, he would have been great. And I think I certainly understand and support the Me Too movement, but I think a lot of people, when you're looking back at these situations 25 years ago, you couldn't say one thing.
Now we'll just have to wait and see if the Academy is taking note of this year's Best of the Best when it hands out its awards next month.
European Parliament elections are coming up, and the rise of populism is likely to entirely reshape the governing body's makeup. Anti-EU and anti-immigrant parties are on the rise across the bloc, and a nationalist resurgence, some believe, is further narrowing the perception of what it means to be European, with the overarching belief that whiteness is crucial to Europeanness, even as the demographic diversifies. So what is a European? Well, it's a very loaded question. Take a look at this.
Which one of these people would you identify as European? How did you measure this? Was it their looks, their beliefs, their dress code, or maybe it's their ideals?
I think we have to be aware that there is no such thing as a clear identity. In many European societies, still there is this notion of the European versus the non-European, and that has a long history.
The way that I like to think that will make us Europeans is that basically after so many centuries about being at war with each other, we finally found a way to make peace and respect each other.
According to Dagmar Myslinska, a teacher at the London School of Economics and Political Science, there's a very clear hierarchy of whiteness and belonging when it comes to Europe, driven by Western European nations.
So let's say, to give an example, if somebody imagines what a German is like, then they would often imagine somebody being blonde, blue-eyed. You speak German, then you're a German. If you speak Turkish, then this is not something which belongs to German identity.
Even though leaders within the continent agreed to join the European Union project with the idea of a singular identity, many people struggle to abandon their core feeling of national identity. During the peak of the refugee crisis, German Chancellor Angela Merkel's open border policy once gave her the title the leader of the free world. But as anti-immigration rhetoric increased, her fame plummeted. And other European leaders, led mainly by Hungary's Viktor Orban, rose to power, giving birth to a new wave of nationalist and right-wing parties. The main rhetoric is based heavily on national identity, Christian identity, and culture. Now, Europe's long history of anti-Semitism is back on the rise, along with anti-Muslim sentiments.
So after the annihilation of 6 million Jews and the official end of the Holocaust and the official end of, they would say, was anti-Semitism, there was this idea that there is no racism anymore, right? And this, at the very same time, complicated the issue very much, because racism and the very narrow understanding of national identity was still there. And this was just an enabler, all of these anti-racist processes that we're witnessing especially within the last 15 years.
In the past days, we just letting people in the Mediterranean Sea staying there without being accountable and trying to find better solutions.
Although there has been a sharp decline in the number of new arrivals to Europe in recent years, immigration is still seen as the most important issue facing the EU.
Generally speaking, I would say the idea of a European project has a lot of very progressive aspects, but at the very same time, as we can see, especially with the far right, can also be turned into a very exclusionary project. And I think that's really the question which we are standing in front of.
I believe that Europeans right now are losing touch with reality. A lot of us, they don't have empathy anymore with other human beings.
Okay, let's go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Monday. It was Holocaust Memorial Day over the weekend, and with it, news that 1 in 20 Brits don't believe the Holocaust happened. 6 million Jews were murdered by Nazi Germany and its collaborators during World War II. But a recent study found 5% of people had no knowledge of it, while 20% vastly underestimated the number of Jews killed. The chief executive of the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust, which commissioned the study, says such widespread ignorance and even denial is shocking. Weather watchers in southern Turkey captured footage of tornadoes ripping through Antalya province. 5 tornadoes struck the province over just 4 days. The most powerful flipped buses and damaged the city's airport. Hundreds of buildings were also damaged and power was out for thousands of people. Now, Istanbul's streets are well known for popular cafes, historic buildings and extremely busy traffic. And now it's also getting noticed for street art. Here's a look at some of the work taking over walls all around the city.
I came to Istanbul to study, and here I saw graffiti on the walls. This made me very happy. I was doing it when I was in high school in Balıkesir. Then I was affected by Istanbul's street art and said I should start again. Now I am a professional artist. That's my job. I've been doing it professionally for 2.5 years. I make money off of it. My goal is to do something big in the world. Normally, the police get involved in our events. In this incident, the municipal police came. They said I can't do it here. I cannot do street art in the street. It was funny. Without permission, I was not allowed, and I said I had permission already. Thanks to the support of the people around, the local police left.
And finally, a reunion of the sweetest kind. That'll make sense in just a minute. This video of lambs being reunited with their mamas is going viral in Turkey. Filmed on a farm in Elazig, A number of cameras with different views were set up to capture the cuteness from every angle. And if you need more proof of how well Turkey treats its animals, there's this video of a cat taking its kittens into a mosque to join its brothers and sisters, which have all been taken in by the local imam. Very cute. That's all from the Newsfeed team. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter and YouTube, and you can follow me on Instagram. Follow, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.